This is going to be a very short recording. I want to talk about abandoned places, okay? Now, first of all, let me say this. A place can be abandoned because, well, let's say you have a military base that's installed somewhere, but now the frontier has moved, so now that military base is not needed anymore, so people just leave it. In the past, in antiquity, such things happened. But I'm not going to talk about things that far off. I'm talking about when a mall or a government building or a bank, some kind of institute building is abandoned. Now here you can see there's an abandoned place. Things are growing wild now because it's not maintained. We have other pictures of the same place. Now you have other abandoned places over here. Now look, I'm going to keep this short. Okay? I'm going to give an illustration to you. Let's say you are a real estate agent and your job is to look for empty places that aren't in use anymore and propose a renovation project. You come near an old mall and the mall has not been in use for about 5 years. People just don't come anymore. So you do your research and you find out that this mall can be renovated. There are many young entrepreneurs that live in the neighborhood and you are very excited about this project and you propose to report to your boss. Now your boss is also excited, but then your boss is following the protocol. He is sending in your reports to his superiors that work at the local city government. Now the minister at the city government is checking out the project. Now the minister that is appointed upon such matters at the municipal level, he is going to investigate the mall. Why is it abandoned for at least 5 years? Why do people just leave? So the minister begins to make phone calls here and there, and then the minister receives a phone call from the state minister, and the state minister makes clear that this project that you're informing about, where does it come from? And the city minister answers and gives an account to the state minister that, well, such and such real estate agent proposed this project and he's very excited about it. And the state minister makes clear this is not going to happen, stop it. And then the city minister reports everything to your boss, and your boss is not happy with it, but your boss makes clear unto you have to stop this project. Okay, you're disappointed, but you move on. Then a year later, there's an older lady that used to shop at the mall, the abandoned mall, I mean, and she contacts you, and she asks, "Are you the real estate agent that wanted to reopen that mall?" You say, "Yes, ma'am." She says, "Well, you better leave that mall alone." And you ask her, "Ma'am, why are you saying something like that?" Well, the people at that mall, that they constructed the mall about 15 years ago, they were into bad stuff. And, well, the bad energy escalated and it affected a lot of people, so you might have to deal with some spirits if you want to go deal with that building. And you listen to what she is saying, and then you think, hold on a minute. So you begin to do your own research a little bit, and you find out that there were a lot of missing children, a lot of missing adults during the time that during the 6 months before the construction of the mall was finished, and during the 15 years, during the 10 years that the mall was operating. From time to time, someone would disappear and nobody would know where the individual remained. There are a lot of missing people that went missing after they visited the mall. Some people came far off from other cities to that mall and they disappeared. Then you begin to understand what the elder lady was telling you. So now you know that the place there is haunted. And now you know that something went wrong, the negative energy wasn't channeled well, and people were affected. Because this is what you need to understand. Just like similar to nuclear waste, nuclear waste can cause birth defects with animals and humans that will affect generations. They can affect plants and the crops. Nuclear waste is quite dangerous. You see, that's why there are strict rules about generating nuclear energy. But in the spiritual realm, you see, negative energy, dissatisfaction, you see, it's like nuclear waste. If it's not channeled, man, it will escalate. You see, in ancient times, they used to practice human sacrifice to channel the negativity of the community. Since the arrival of Christianity, human sacrifice has been suppressed. It's mostly only practiced now by certain cults and certain organizations. Now look, this is how it works. Let's say you have about the real estate agent in the illustration just gave. The town where he is at work has around 40,000 people. 20 years ago, it was only 30,000 people. Okay, but those 30,000 people that lived over there, they had all kinds of tensions and dissatisfactions, and tensions arose in the community. So there were people at the state government that decided, okay, we need to release the tensions among those people, or else they're going to finish off each other. So they come up with a plan to construct a mall that will, and they decided to use some to perform those sacrifices in order to generate a negative climate, so that that negative climate will attract all the other people that have negativity in that community. So now, when after the mall was finished, those people began to buy things. So now the community was held together because people, well, their dissatisfaction was transferred into buying things. That addiction of buying things, like a drug, it makes them unconscious of their dissatisfaction and their hidden pain. And those blood sacrifices that they were doing was basically to keep the addictions going on, to keep the spell going. But now, once the spell was broken and things began to go wrong, people decided not going to buy things there anymore. Because many people that began to visit the mall, also people from far off, realized that when they returned home, they would have troubles. And even the people that lived over there noticed that the mall was kind of creepy. Now such things happen, okay? And when you have an abandoned place, and you notice that the government, no real estate people want anything to do with it, you know now what's going on. You see, people often they don't investigate, they don't do research. They just take things for granted. Now I want you to do your own research. Again, I'm not saying that all abandoned places are haunted. No, that's not true. Neither am I saying that all abandoned places have cults behind them that use them. I just want you to be alert, okay? Now look, if you want to investigate an abandoned place, do it with more people. Or if you and friends want to have an adventure and hang around such a place, now listen, don't get in trouble with your parents nor with the police. And always let people know where you are. I'm not here to restrict freedom of you. Of course not, I just want you to be alert, okay? And look, I'm not going to make predictions. I'm just going to share with you what I'm feeling now. I'm feeling that there will be more abandoned places in the near future. Also because the population in what we call the Western world is shrinking, and there are too few people being born, so you're going to see more of these abandoned places in the future. But always investigate the recent past of that place. And listen what I'm saying here. You have a lot of empty houses throughout Europe, empty villas, empty apartments, that are not being sold. Now, they're not being sold because people don't have money to buy them. They have money to buy them. But listen, if a place in the recent past had an explosion of negativity, when things went wrong, now I'm telling you, if that happened in a place, then I don't recommend you to buy that place or to move into that place. And you see, a lot of people, I'm talking about worldly people who aren't born again, they are alert of spiritual matters, and they do conduct their investigations before they buy a place or they get involved. Don't you know that even, I'm not talking about abandoned places now, even occupied places can have their curses with them. There's a school over there, and most of the pupils that go to that school, they end up using drugs or they end up being a. You begin to think, well, the students just have to perform well, they need to do their homework. No, listen, that school can be haunted. So if you have a child and you want to send them to a school, please do your investigation before you send your child to a school. If you are of age and you want to move into an apartment, please do your investigation about the place. Don't just see something is beautiful and nice and shiny and decide to purchase it. Do your investigation. And if you have a place that people just don't want to buy or they don't want to get into, and it's been like this for years, and you see in the history that many people that move in, move out quickly, they begin asking questions. Seriously, just ask questions. Okay? People are never going to tell you everything. They're never going to tell you the full picture, especially if the full picture contains all this ugly stuff. You see? Listen to what I'm saying. There are people that have their houses and they want to get out of their houses because their houses have lots of bad energy in and around that house. And even if you're a born again individual, it doesn't matter. If you enter into a house that's heavily laden with negativity, I don't care how spiritual you are going to have to deal with the negativity and with the past event that happened over there. I'm not saying that a place cannot be cleared of negativity, but listen, if negativity has been held into that environment for a long time, and if there are a lot of people that were involved in it, then you coming there and think you're going to solve it just like that, don't be stupid, okay? Look, if you purchase a house and you want to cleanse it from bad energy, as the owner of the house, you can do it. Or if you have an apartment that you rent, you can do it for your apartment. But if you and a few people want to get involved into a project, whether it's housing project or whatever it is, make sure that everyone's on the same page. That's why, being unequally yoked with unbelievers is quite dangerous, because let's say you purchase a house, but your wife or your spouse is an unbeliever. What happens if there's negative tension in the house? That negative tension is going to be sucked into your spouse, because your spouse is an unbeliever, so demons can enter in and out of your spouse. So you think you may have cleansed the house by praying about it and all of that, but your spouse is still an unbeliever, still contains the negativity. Look, only practice cleansing of a house if you are the one occupying that house, or if you are the one that's inhabiting that place. Okay? And look, that's why it's better not to be deeply involved with people that don't want to be spiritually alert. Okay? Well, I wanted to make this quick video just to inform you about this. I hope this video hasn't become too long. Just always be alert. And if you didn't watch my series about Poltergeist Explained, then watch it. That being said, you all enjoy your day. Shalom.